BBC Radio 1. I am Nick Grimshaw, and Jake Gyllenhaal is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Nick.
Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm really well. Thanks for having me.
Cameras are on. If you want to come and see us, bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. We are live.
The Radio 1 Breakfast Show with Nick Grimshaw.
So good morning.
Good morning.
I have a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
Your film that I saw the other day is, I mean, it's a great film. It's an awesome film.
Yeah.
And you're incredible in it, but it has ruined my week.
In the best way, right?
In the best way possible.
Yeah.
But you know when you go and see a movie and it gets you?
Yeah.
Like there's occasionally you'll go and see a film and you'll come out, you won't think about it ever again.
Yeah.
I've thought about this film since Tuesday.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
It makes me happy that it makes you so brokenhearted.
Yeah.
In some way.
Well, it's a kind of a weird thing, that, isn't it, when you go to a film and it makes you feel bad, but that means it's a good movie because it made me feel like, wow, I felt something in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a story about somebody who goes through a hard time and then has to overcome it, you know? And
Yeah.
I think, you know, the losses that he faces, the character in the movie, ends up, you know, it's a story about redemption and he ends up overcoming them, but still, you know, as you go along the journey, it's a tough road.
Yeah, it
Definitely.
really is. The movie is called Southpaw, by the way. It's going to be out on 24th of July. Perfect Friday night date film. Really breezy.
I think it is. I mean, I think it's definitely it's a good film. We tried to make a really good film that was based in some sort of reality, but at the same time, I think it's really entertaining too. I mean, we have like great fight sequences and stuff that I'm really proud of, and I think great actors, and you know, Rachel McAdams is in the movie, and there's I think a beautiful love story in there, and but also it's about a daughter and her father and stuff. So just great actors, and I think an entertaining movie. But I'm glad it kind of broke your heart a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I was sold from the second it started. Like your relationship with Rachel McAdams in that is perfect. Yeah. Like I believed it, and I believe like the love that you have for each other and your daughter. That was great, and then. And then, well, we won't say what happens.
Look, you got to fight. You got to fight. You know, sometimes you fight for things in your life. You know, you got to fight for, you know, happiness, and you got to fight for the love that you know have or lost, and that's important. You know what I mean? And that's what the movie's about.
Those fight scenes.
So have you? Is that what it's about?
I'm fighting right now. Every day it's me versus producer Vic. She says wrap it up. I say no.
Arms crossed.
Yeah, look,
looking
she's
so
stern.
stoic
She's
right now.
Stern like that.
Yeah, she's stern.
She's stern, man.
She does. She sits right behind you.
Yeah, she has a stick and everything. Don't hit me. But how was it to make? Because, like I said, it's an intense. It's a great film, and I'm not saying that it made me feel bad in like, oh, it was a bad film.
Yeah.
It was an awesome film. That's why it affected me so much. But how was it to do and be in that frame of mind and go to work every day and do something as tough and you know intense as this?
Well, I mean, it's a boxing movie, so I was boxing a lot in the movie, and I trained for a long time for it, and I love the sport of boxing, and I fell in love with the sport while I was making the movie and preparing for it too. So every day was about you know working out. Started my day really, no matter what, even if we weren't shooting boxing scenes. So you know, it was a physical place to be, and it always makes me feel better to be that way. So that was great, and then all the actors are great every day. We have a crazy cast. And Antoine Fuqua, who directed the movie, is an amazing director too. So just every day, even though it was a darker subject, I was excited to go to set. You know, I love my job.
Yeah. So. Well, I guess it's great doing something like this, which is going to work and like being someone else rather than if you're playing a guy called John Gyllenhaal when he's an actor. Like it'd be rubbish if it was quite like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean doing something totally different is really fun. That's why I do my job. And it's exciting too to think about people seeing it and people enjoying it and sort of being you know, seeing something different, you know, and doing something different for the audience that I love. You know, that's exciting. So you wake up going, oh, I can't wait for people to see this when it comes out.
Yeah, ruin their lives. Yeah. Break their hearts. But when you got that script, when you got the script of Southpaw, how does it happen? Did someone just send you that and you read it and you're like, okay, or what's the process?
Yeah, somebody sent it to me and they said, you know, Antoine Fuqua, who directed Training Day and The Equalizer, is directing this movie, and you know, he's a big fan of boxing. He's been boxing all his life, and he wants to make this movie. And it's really important to him. And I read the script, thinking about how Antoine's made movies and his vision, and then I just thought, wow, he's perfect to do it. And then he asked me to do it, and that was that. I mean, but I also was so moved by it too. I mean, I sat there reading the script, and it made me cry when I read it.
Yeah.
You know, there are 2 or 3 times in the script when I was reading it where I was just, you know, crying. You know, and even when I read other drafts as they did rewrites on the script, I remember I was in a plane and I was reading it in a plane, and I just started to cry in the plane, and everybody looked at me like, you know, I have this tendency to cry on planes in general, no matter what's happening. I don't know what it is.
I think
Maybe
it's the altitude. I think it's the altitude.
Yeah.
But people like Jake Gyllenhaal's crazy. So I'm crying on a flight. But I mean,
covered my head with a towel. I was trying everything I could, but it was just so good, the script.
Well, I mean, I cried like a baby in this. I don't mind saying that. And I think everyone that went to see it, Alice Levine, who is a DJ at Radio 1, you're going to have a chat to her in a second.
Yeah.
She was like louder than the film. She was like, she's still, I mean, she's been seeing a therapist since Tuesday, since we saw it. She's a mess. She's a write-off.
Someone told me in an interview yesterday, they said there was some guy who was sobbing like a little baby and I was like, I think that was Nick.
I was crying so much. You know, your throat hurts from it, and like my eyes hurt, and I was like, oh, it really got me.
I feel so bad saying that's so great, but
that's the sign of a great film.
Yeah, I hope so, yes.
Yeah, because sometimes I go to these screenings, I just go to sleep. I'm just like, this is rubbish. I'm just going to use my time and go to sleep. But there was no sleeping, no napping.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Just pure emotion, pure trauma. We're going to play a song from the film right now. We're going to play Eminem, Phenomenal.
Oh, great.
And this is like the, turn around. Okay, I've got this. I've got 6 weeks to train.
Yep.
And then this was the track.
Yep.
Would you listen to stuff like this when you were training for this role?
Absolutely. My playlist was all sort of hip-hop, but also a lot of Eminem throughout the whole thing. I mean, he's the most motivating hip-hop artist in a lot of ways, So, yeah.
Do you ever go to the gym to go to train and forget your headphones? Because I did that yesterday and it was rubbish.
Yes.
You can't do it.
It's so true.
It's only when I pretend I'm gangster can I train.
So true.
So true. Like, if this is on, I've got this. In.
Nick, you're phenomenal.
Thank you. As are you, Jake.
Oh, come on.
You're phenomenal.
Trading phenomenal.
So how much training went on? Because this isn't like, oh, I've got a 6-pack. It's like 22-pack.
I don't know. I didn't really train. It's how I normally am.
Right. I thought you were just going to say, I didn't really train. Just what my body's like.
Yeah, that's just how I wake up, and then when I have to get out of shape is what's tough.
Yeah.
Do you know? No, I trained for 5 months. I trained for 5 months, twice a day, because I didn't really know how to box when we started. So I was afraid that I would look like a fool. And so that fear motivated me. And I decided if I trained 2 times a day, then I'd fill 5 months with 10 months, basically.
Right.
And then, so that's what happened from there. And I learned how to box.
But were you ever like, I'm over this? I can't train because it's hard that every day, twice. And what were you eating? You can't eat anything fun.
No, you eat whatever you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, we were 6 weeks out from starting the movie. We started to train like I was training for a fight.
Right.
So we trained like a, training camp 6 weeks out. And then I play a light heavyweight in the movie. That's how the weight I box at. So it's 175 pounds. I don't know what that is in
No, me neither. It's the maths.
I can't do it. I refuse to do it. It's too difficult.
Too tough.
But so then we started to figure out weight, and then I weighed in a day before the fight, the way fighters do. We tried to play it as exactly as it goes.
Right.
So
Okay.
I dieted there to try and lose weight, and I did everything boxers do to lose that weight. And then I went and fought. The first 2 weeks of the shooting was all fights. Yeah.
I mean, those punches that they were going on in that film, that looked proper. Sometimes you watch a film and it's a bit like, he didn't hit him. Yeah. That was rubbish.
They're just hitting, like Foley, they're just hitting chickens, wet
just like
chickens.
near them, and they're like, oh. Yeah. I mean, that looks like, there's some beating up going on in this film.
Yeah, Antoine wanted to look as real as possible.
Yeah.
And he shot it like an HBO fight or a Showtime fight, as they really do, and none of that kind of movie stuff. So we had to fight for real. And there were many times where you get hit, even if we choreographed it, just because, we would talk to each other too. We'd use our gloves, we'd cover our mouths, and we'd talk to each other, and we would say stuff like, I'm going to throw 2 jabs in the right hand, and then, okay, I'm going to block 2 and then get hit by the right hand. Okay, let's go. And then sometimes you just forget, and then you'd get hit.
You get punched in the face.
Yeah, you'd be like, was it 2 jabs? And
How much does it hurt to be punched in the face by somebody that is in shape like that as a boxer? That hurts.
Nah, it doesn't feel good, but I mean,
It's not ideal.
I mean, body shots are worse, in my opinion. I mean, like somehow a body shot when you get hit in the ribs, you get hit in an organ on your, side of your body.
Yeah.
There's just like a response that you realize that shouldn't be happening to your body. Not like a punch in the face is anything that should be happening to your body, but definitely, that.
So if someone asks me and I have the option, they say, I'm going to punch you now.
In the face, definitely.
Do I go in the face? Are you sure?
Well, I mean...
At least it's an excuse to have a nose job. Someone hit me in the face. I had to get my nose completely reshaped.
In terms of that, I would rather that than an organ, yes.
Yeah, probably.
Yes,
do
yes.
that. Right, so many questions coming in for you because people really love for you, Jake. They really, really do.
Come on.
They do, though. They really, really do because I think you made some awesome films, so people have got a lot of love for you. I'm currently in the hospital, someone says, sending questions to the most satisfying... my question is, the most satisfying thing of being an artist and being an actor. What is like the best thing about being an actor? Is it like... an award, the cash money, gratitude, like the fact that you can do this, like challenging yourself? What is it that's so great?
I mean, that is a great reward, particularly nowadays. I think there is really nice things about being an actor, but I think just creatively the best thing about being an actor is that you get to learn from people who are really doing real jobs in the world. And if you do your job, in the way that I like to do my job, you get to learn a skill that you never knew before. So I never knew how to box, and now I know how to box.
Could you knock me out right now?
Definitely. Without even...
Could you really?
I think maybe without even touching you.
Shall we do it?
I feel like the movie already did.
Yeah, I mean, it did, but seriously, shall we actually do it? Imagine the press Imagine the press. Jake Gyllenhaal.
I knocked you out. It only
Nick
takes
Grimshaw.
like 5 pounds of pressure to knock somebody out.
Really?
Yeah,
Let's
it's just
do
an
it.
angle.
Let's do it right now.
But then I'd have to host the show. It'd be so
It's
awkward.
okay, you've only got it till 10, only an hour and a half. I'd go to the hospital, I'd sue you, I'd have a great new life.
Yeah, you seem to be doing pretty badly already.
I'd have a great time. I wanted to talk to you about 50 Cent because 50 Cent is in this movie.
Yeah.
And I thought he was just going to have a little bit in it. But, I mean, 50 is important, an important role in this film.
Absolutely.
How is he to go to work with every day?
Really great. I mean, I have to say, he's a consummate artist, and the thing about him is so many people come on set and you say, oh, they have only 2 weeks and then they have to leave and they have to go do another movie and this and that. And 50 was always available. And he'd come in and he would be basically in the fight scenes, he was a glorified extra. There were first 2 weeks. And he would sit there patiently, excited, watching stuff, be there to support me in between takes. And then when we worked together, he was always curious and trying to figure things out and what was happening. I love him.
Yeah.
It's hard not to love 50.
He's cool, isn't he?
Yeah.
I went and did a TV show with him in America last week, and I was a bit like, a bit nervous about meeting 50 Cent.
Yeah.
And I'll turn up with all these chains on and like spray on jeans, and he'll be like, "Who's this guy?" But we got on like a house on fire.
Yeah,
We
he's
loved
great.
each other.
He's great.
He's a great guy.
Yes.
I heard he was jealous of the bod. Of your body. He was like, oh man.
He'd always come and be like, what are you doing, man? He's like, why are you? He's like, I gotta, he's like, you made me want to run. I gotta go for a run. He's always every morning. But that's not his role. His role was the manager, my manager, and I think that's how he looked at it. But yes, he talked often about how he needed to train while we were shooting.
I saw he posted some pictures on his Instagram yesterday, about 3 or 4 of him just in a sauna looking really muscly, as if to say, all right, Gyllenhaal, I've got this.
He's got some underwear to promote.
Yeah. Go check it out on his Instagram. Available now.
I wanna take shots with somebody. Shots. I wanna leave.
Evans' his show now.
I do.
Oh, he's good.
He is.
Oh,
he's
God
great.
damn. At least we'll be. You just boo him. I mean, what a man.
I wish there were a cot here. I'd sleep here.
Yeah.
Like wake up every morning.
Yeah.
I'd be here. I'd be a producer behind you.
Yeah.
They'd give me my own whip. It'd be great. Isn't that right? Isn't that what you guys have here? You guys have your own customized whips, right?
Yeah, Radio 1 whips. She gets me. She's going to get me now because it's 8:31, sorry, and the news is at 8:30. So we need to do that.
Okay.
Questions to Jake Gyllenhaal. If you want to say hello, the hashtag we've done is Jake on Grim.